Hi there, it's Simon Ravenscroft at National Refrigerant, and I'd like to welcome you to this short guide on refrigerant recovery cylinders. Whilst working on HVAC equipment, all installers from time to time have to remove refrigerant from the system. Whether this is to decommission it or whether it's to service and repair it, these refrigerants cannot be allowed to escape into the air. Some are still ozone depleting, most are greenhouse gases, some are mildly flammable, a few are highly flammable. There are even some that are toxic. And although CO2 is relatively harmless, if enough of it escapes, it can push all the air from the room, causing possible suffocation. When a refrigerant is no longer required, it is deemed as waste, and it is recovered to a recovery cylinder. The contractor must then complete an Environment Agency waste transfer note stating what refrigerant was recovered, where it was taken from, how much was recovered, and who recovered it, finishing with where is it going to. This is a legal requirement, and the cylinder cannot be transported without one. When the cylinder gets back to National, we book it in and analyse the contents to confirm the waste transfer note's description is accurate. Once the lab results are in, we can then decide if the contents can be recycled. Here at National Refrigerants, we always aim to recycle 100% of all recovered refrigerants where possible. The contents are then transferred into a larger storage vessel, which when full will have its contents cleaned and returned back to ARI 700 specification, which is the same spec for virgin refrigerants. The refrigerant is then repacked and reintroduced into the market for reuse. At National Refrigerants, we offer 4 different types of recovery cylinder. There is the standard recovery cylinder. This is the most common type and should only be used for A1 non-flammable HFC/HCFC refrigerants. Next, there is the A2L mildly flammable HFC/HFO recovery cylinder, and this should be used for all A2L refrigerants. Then we have an A3 highly flammable hydrocarbon recovery cylinder for use in recovering R290, R1270, R600 and R600A. Lastly, we offer a receiver cylinder. This is to be used when you require a chemically cleaned certified cylinder, normally used when the recovered refrigerant will be going back into a system and it is critical that there is zero contamination. These cylinders can only be used for A1 non-flammable refrigerants. Even though the cylinder will be returned empty, it is technically classed as nominally empty, meaning it contains an undetermined amount of product. So the cylinder is not prepared or has the correct labelling for flammable gases, so it must not be used for anything other than A1 refrigerants. Here at National, we supply 3 specific refrigerant types: ASHRAE Class A1, non-toxic, non-flammable standard HFC/HCFCs; ASHRAE Class A2L, which are non-toxic, mildly flammable HFC and HFOs; and thirdly, we have ASHRAE A3, which are highly flammable hydrocarbons. If you are in doubt about refrigerant types, please visit our product section of the website. Each refrigerant is easily identifiable by its cylinder image colour. All white body with a green shroud denotes A1 non-flammable standard refrigerant. All white cylinder body with a red shroud denotes A2L mildly flammable refrigerants, and then the all red cylinders are A3 highly flammable. All standard A1 non-flammable HCFC/HFC recovered refrigerants go into the standard A1 recovery cylinders. All A2L mildly flammable HFC, HFO and HFO refrigerant blends go into the A2L HFC recovery cylinders. All A3 highly flammable hydrocarbon refrigerants go into the hydrocarbon recovery cylinders, and lastly, the receiver cylinder must only be used for A1 non-flammable HFC and HCFC refrigerants. It is critical that the right recovery cylinder is used for the specific type of refrigerant. This is a legal requirement, as when the cylinder is transported, if it is a flammable product, the cylinder must clearly display a red warning diamond with highly flammable, so that the transporter and the fire brigade know that the contents are flammable. This is not just a legal requirement, but also a health and safety one. When we receive the recovery cylinder back to our facility, if we do not know we are dealing with a flammable product, this endangers not just the transporter, but all of our staff at the production plant. Under no circumstances must a flammable refrigerant be placed into a non-flammable recovery cylinder. When using a flammable recovery, it is also essential that the correct flammable cylinder be used. There is a dedicated highly flammable hydrocarbon cylinder due to the products requiring special seals. Normal HFC/HCFC seals are corroded by hydrocarbons and will cause the cylinder to leak. Thank you, and if you would like to know more, please visit nationalref.com or call us on 01455 630 790.